Hello, everyone. This is the second episode of Reading Without Secrets with Mr. Gad. Today, we're answering uh, October 2020 questions from 33 to 41. Okay, I'm going to go through the whole passage as usual. First, you read the plot, and here's the most important part of the plot. On Andrea del Soto's upbringing before becoming a famous painter. Okay, so this is going to talk about the growth or the upbringing of Andrea del Soto before becoming a famous painter. Okay, question 33 is a literary question. Okay, I need to remind you of these of the four literary terms that a simile is comparing two unlike things using as or like. For example, Ali is like a lion. Metaphor, comparing two unlike things without using as or like. Ali is a lion. Onomatopoeia, when the sound of the word suggests its meaning. So what was this sound of the snake? Hissing, so hiss is the word for the sound of the snake. And buzz is the sound for buzzing of a bee. And what is personification? Giving human qualities to non-human uh, objects. Like if you said the trees are dancing, who dances? People dance, humans dance. So they're giving the quality of humans to non-humans, which are the trees. Okay, I need to go for line 22, as he said, to find out. Okay, I need to read from the beginning of the sentence, as usual. Now, out of the six children, five were just ordinary, commonplace little ones, such as one would expect to meet in a tailor's household. So, out of the six children, there were six children. Five were ordinary, normal, but the sixth was like the ugly duckling. Yes, like the ugly duckling, he used like. So, as we said, it is a simile. So, and I have a piece of information that there were six children in the tailor's house, the sons and daughters of the tailor. One of them was outstanding, was different. Then 34, 35, it says, young Andrea was most content. When content means yes, happy. Content means happy. Yes, excellent. Happy. So I need to go through the quotations, the evidence choices to find out when was Andrea happy. 15 to 17, it's there, but before long, these stories died away, sorry, and the tailor and his wife Constanza, so I have the tailor, the father, and his wife Constanza lived happy, busy life, and brought up their six children carefully and well. Okay, it doesn't say anything about Andrea, who was happy, the father and the mother, Constanza and the tailor. Okay, next evidence. It's here, 26, 20 something. The boy's name was Andrea. He was such a quick, sharp little boy that he was sent very early to school and then to read and write before he was sick. That means that he was very clever. So he was a sharp little boy. It doesn't say anything about happiness. Then C was in line 34. It is early days to begin work at 7 years old, but Andrea thought it was quite as good as playing. Although it doesn't say anything about Andrea being happy. However, the last evidence, which was line 36, he was always, who was he? He is Andrea, was always perfectly happy, yes, if he could have a pencil and paper. So I know when does he feel happy? It's here in the 3641 first, then it's here. Which option does it? The only options, the only option that talks about pencils and papers is B. Then, if you remember, um, and and if you are concentrating, and if you read your passage well through the evidence, you're going to know that you're going to remember that Sharp then was in the position that he was a sharp little boy that uh, that he was sent early to school. So sharp here, we said it's clever. Clever means smart. Harsh means sturdy, cruel, intense, nervous, distinct, different, outstanding. 37. According to the passage, what is the best explanation to why young Andrea was taken out of school? Note that this question does not have a line reference. However, it talks about school, and the idea of school was discussed here in this question. So I can go next to this question, next to this line, and I can find out, and sure, I'm going to find out why did he leave school? It's there. As that was considered quite enough education, his father then took him away from school. So why did his father took him away from school? Because he thought that was enough education. That's it. It's here. 37. B. Quite enough education. Then question 38. According to the passage, how did Cosimo initially, what is initially, in the beginning, at first, feel about taking young Andrea as a pupil? What is a pupil? A pupil is a young student between maybe grade 1 and grade 3, 4, between 1 and 4, grade 1 and grade 4, maybe. So I need to go through the evidences to find what was the initial reaction, the first reaction of Cosimo. So it's 65, 66, and 70, 74. 65, 66, it's here. The boy was but a child, and this phrase seemed absurd, seemed trivial, seemed nonsense. So the boy must not be that good. Okay, this is one evidence, but I can tell that this is the initial reaction, the first reaction. The next evidence is here. But little by little, as Cosimo watched the boy at work, that means that Cosimo accepted the boy as his pupil. So where was the first or the initial reaction? It is here. It says the boy was but a child and the praise seemed absent. Yes, I can go for the answers back again. Here is A, and here is the only choice that talked about praise is A. And I found out that the boy was accompanied by Barley when he was sent to Cosimo. This is another thing, another piece of information. Then, according to the passage, what was special about Andrea as an up-and-coming painter? It's there. I can imagine that this is the passage, and according to the passage is delineating his life. So, or following or depicting his life. Here, he was a child. Here, he went to school. In the second paragraph, third paragraph left school. Fourth paragraph started working. Fifth paragraph, as I read from the evidences. Sixth paragraph here, sixth paragraph. If I said, this is the goldsmith working, I didn't read that. I didn't read that. Okay. However, here he was Cosimo's student, and here he was working with Cosimo still. So sure, this is in the last paragraph. This is an up and coming trend. Maybe 2 or 3 lines. The main idea. And truly, the knowledge of drawing and coloring seemed to come to the boy without any effort. Not that he was idle. Idle means inactive or trusted to chance. He was never tired of work. and his greatest joy, happiness on holidays was to go off and study the drawings, the paintings of the great Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci. Thank you. Okay. He, he did not tire from drawing. He didn't feel tired of working. نفس السنتنس أنا copy and paste. Then idle, we read that. You don't need to go back. If you are concentrating, you don't need to go back because going back is going to waste your time. Lazy, inactive, trivial, معناها absurd, nonsense, meaningless, without meaning, unemployed, not working. Then the last question. Now I can tell in which paragraphs are these options. A, he was different from the rest of the family, the ugly duckling. I read that. He was exceptional at mixing colors, last paragraph. D, he studied of great works of by Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci, last paragraph. However, the passage did not say anything about criticism. C. This is the answer. Remember that it says except, excluding. Thank you so much. Hope to see you soon.